Good afternoon, my renegades. Welcome back to Rogue Radio. My name is Sarah Jane, and yes, tomorrow is a snowstorm. I just want to say, if you guys live in the northwest of the United States, we're gonna get it pretty bad, 5 to 7 inches, just depending on where you live. So, stock up on some Gatorade and saltines and batten down the hatches, y'all, because it's gonna be, I don't know, it's gonna be a gnarly one. I don't even know. Like, I just know it's gonna be cold as hell, you know, tomorrow. So just be careful. Just get what you need and be a hermit for a day or two, you know. Alright. Today is Renegade time, so let's just get into it. I don't know why I had to sing that, but let's just go. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, please feel free to drop a link. I drop the links. Feel free to leave a comment on my YouTube channel, my Instagram. Any of the links provided in the description below is where you can reach me. That was the gist of that. Next up is just lovely politics. Let's just, you know, I'm tired of trying to sound like, what's his name? Who's that guy that says, "What's up, you beautiful bastards?" I'm tired of sounding like Philip DeFranco. So, I don't know. If you guys want, you can find me a new catchphrase. That'd be nice. I'll even pay you for it. No, I won't. Politics! Let's go! Well, the U.S. Department of Defense says that the U.S. weapons cache is not prepared for protracted war with China, a study says. That is depressing. A new study whose data was obtained from senior military and defense officials as well as congressional and defense industry leaders warns that if the United States and China engage in hostilities, the U.S. weapons cache is woefully lacking. Someone is playing a prank on the U.S. Department of Defense because we have so many people in the House, demon shits, Democrats, that want to have gun control over the people so that way they don't have to, you know, take over the unjust government. But somebody decided to just rob the defense of the U.S., the defense of the Department of Defense. Why was that so hard for me to say? I can just see somebody walking in there. They're like, they've got clearance. They're supposed to be there, but like every day they come home with like a gun or a grenade or a bomb or something that they have, and they just stock it up in the crawl space or the attic of their home. Just like, one of these days they're going to realize that the people have the guns now. I just see it. I see it. I don't know why. Maybe I'm crazy. I just see it. Okay, how can the Department of Defense, that is supposed to defend the U.S. in a war, be lacking in weaponry? How? Can you please tell me how? A new study whose data was obtained... Okay, no, never mind, I already said that. Okay. Seth Jones, the Center of Strategic and International Studies, wrote the report, which follows CSIS. Oh my god. It's CSIS. Jesus, it's gonna be one of those days where I trip over my words every other word I read, right? Alright. The CSIS war game scenario that pointed out that the conflict with China U.S. arms, including long-range precision-guided munitions, could run empty in 1 week. What is the Department of Defense doing? Are you guys literally sticking your thumbs up your ass just because there's no war yet? Like, dude, you're supposed to be preparing for war every day when you go to work. Like, what the fuck? What do you guys do? What are you guys doing? You got one job! The bottom line is the defense industrial base, in my judgment, is not prepared for the security environment that now exists. Jones told the Wall Street Journal, adding that the defense industry is currently better suited for a peacetime environment. How do you effectively deter if you don't have sufficient stockpiles of the kinds of munitions we're going to need for a China-Taiwan Strait kind of scenario? Man, the Department of Defense has gone woke. Listen, I've got a problem with woke folk now. Like, no, I am personally waging war over the woke folk, okay? Forget about China and Taiwan, okay? You're literally making the Department of Defense woke to the point where we don't have enough guns, we don't have enough munitions and shit that we're supposed to have to defend ourselves, all because you guys don't believe in war, you don't believe in all of that shit. You want everybody to be peaceful and, you know, call you by your fucking made-up pronouns and shit. That's all you care about. That's all you care about. So, when the White House gets woke, it's a worry, okay? That's a concern. But when the Department of Defense doesn't have enough fucking weapons because they've decided to go woke and be like, oh, we don't need it. We can talk to people instead of waging war. You know, sometimes war is actually necessary. I really hate to say it because honestly, I hate war too, and I wish I could be woke too, but guess what? I ain't going to because it's stupid as fuck. Okay, listen. We need weapons to defend ourselves because peace talks, you do realize that in history, a lot of the time, peace talks did not actually work. They didn't work. Wars happen because of differing of opinions and beliefs and values and shit, okay? That's how wars happen. So yeah, I'm waging war over the woke folk that decided to make the defense of our U.S. pussies. You pussified the Department of Defense for the U.S. And now we're sitting ducks. Thanks for that, woke folk. Little fucking Muppet cows. Eat your damn woke cookies and get the fuck out of here, man. Those shortfalls would make it extremely difficult for the United States to sustain a protracted conflict. Jones asserted. They also highlight that the U.S. defense industrial base lacks adequate surge capacity for a major war. The history of industrial mobilization suggests that it will take years for the defense industrial base to produce and deliver sufficient quantities of critical weapon systems and munitions that recapitalize stocks that have been used up. Adam Darrell Caudle? His name isn't Adam. Listen, when I read, please don't abbreviate stuff. Admiral Darrell Caudle, the head of the U.S. Fleet Forces Command, has expressed his frustration with the defense industry snapping. I am not forgiving the fact that they're not delivering the ordnance we need. All this stuff about COVID, parts, supply chain, just don't really care. We've all got tough jobs. True. I'm just trying to think, like, isn't the Department of Defense supposed to find the most modern ways of weaponry? They're supposed to find the most cheapest way, I want to say, because I know that wars are very expensive, so I mean, finding cheaper ways to make munitions and fuel and tanks and stuff like that in order to go to war, they have to learn that stuff. They have to know what to do. They also have to start designing weaponry. They have to contact different businesses in order to get those weaponry. All of those things. They need to get all of that. And what have they been doing this whole time? I just want to know, what has the Department of Defense been doing this whole time? You have riots going on in the streets of America because of whatever woke shit happened, okay? Or whatever conservative shit happened. Sometimes I just like to turn off my news and just not care. Sometimes. So that's why sometimes I'm just oblivious to things. But, I mean, you can't tell me that all those riots used up all those weapons. Because that's the police force. You're not giving the police force the Department of Defense's weapons unless you're doing something like putting the whole country under fascist government. That would explain why the weapons have decided to disappear. Because now the government is starting to fund other states in order to bring about the New World Order, basically. I know that's a conspiracy theory, but there's a lot of things that have been leading up to that. But it isn't something that we should look over, because there is an article that I have read in Behold the Pale Horse that does talk about this. And it's, let me go look at it real quick. It is HR 4097 and FEMA. So, basically, what that little article says is that the Postal Service will actually take account of everyone who's living in that state, and they all have to report to the postal office in order to get their job, their home. They get separated from their children, their wives. Husbands go to work camps. Sons and husbands go to work camps. Women and children usually go somewhere else. It's basically a concentration camp. That's what they're trying to do. It's a concentration camp. So I would say, since I am a conspiracy theorist and I do see some connections, the only logical reason for me, okay, as a conspiracist would be because of this clause that they have decided to type up a long, long time ago. This was made in 1975, 1965, somewhere around there. And it's not been put out yet, has not been put into action, because we as Americans, we still have our guns. We still have ways of protecting ourselves. And that's why the Democrats in the House want to control the guns so badly, is because they want people to be put in concentration camps. They want people to be slaves. And I think you know what, I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play this video because I have it on my phone. I'm glad that I did, because now I can kind of like talk to you guys about it. So before we even keep reading this, I'm going to play that video real quick. Let me get it. Here it is.
This is one of the most important broadcasts that I've done. I know I say that a lot, but everything that we report on is important. However, this is the nail in the coffin. I cannot overstate this enough. The WHO, as part of their IHR amendments, which every country is legally bound to, They have signed you up to this and your country up to this without your consent, and now the WHO is in their draft saying that they are going to remove the respect for the dignity of human beings, the human rights of human beings and fundamental freedoms. This is something that they have now put in writing. They are not hiding it anymore. They plan to strip you of all of your rights in something that is legally binding. This applies to the whole world. This is not an Australian issue. This is not a United States issue. This is an issue for every single person on the planet. But I'm asking everyone, if you're watching this live, share this stream everywhere. Now, after you're done watching, share it everywhere. Upload it everywhere. Embed it to your website. I don't care. The whole world needs to know about this. This is the most dangerous thing that we have seen to date. And it is the globalists openly playing their card, telling you your human rights don't matter. Your dignity doesn't matter. None of your fundamental freedoms matter. We're going to jab you and we're going to do it whether you like it or not. This applies to the whole world.
So she's basically saying that there have been papers brought up, not just from Australia, because she is in Australia, but she knows that the whole world has typed up papers saying that all human beings are basically cattle. They don't have any choice. They don't have a freedom of choice. They don't have a freedom of dignity. They don't have the smarts in order to govern themselves and live by themselves independently. So they're going to do everything they can to disrespect our privacy, disrespect our freedom of choice. They're going to take away our guns. And this is what everything is building up to. This is what I think is happening right now with the Department of Defense. The reason why the weapons are so low there is because they're giving the weapons to the states in order to create police states within the whole country. That way, every country, or not every country, but every country, but I'm talking about the US. But every state in the US is governed by a police state. The police will run the state. There will be no mayors or governors or whatever. There's not going to be any state council. It's going to be the police state, and the police say what goes. That's my theory. And the only thing that I can really say to the people who are listening is, lock up your guns. Make sure you have enough guns to provide for the whole family, because at some point, you guys are going to have to defend yourselves. Make sure you have enough ammo, enough bullets, because the government is starting to get smarter and smarter, and they do not like us. They don't like our freedom. The US support for Ukraine in this war with Russia, which has drained the US stockpile of weapons. Oh, well, there's another reason. And it's caused the Pentagon to reassess its quality of munitions in December, illustrating the underinvestment in munitions that had been going on for years. Investing in new weapon systems instead of shells or ammunition, the journal noted. Bill LaPlante, a Undersecretary of Defense for Acquisition and Sustainment, acknowledged, "You have almost a political environment like we have now, where people see the urgency for it because in times of peace, in times of prosperity, it's one of those first things that falls off the budget." The thing is that it should never fall off the budget. That should never, ever be, put to the back burner because we're at peace. I don't understand that. We have to be prepared for war all of the time, because war could happen at any time. As recently as late December, 71 Chinese warplanes were detected flying over Taiwan, performing military exercises, according to Taiwan's defense ministry. According to the People's Libertarian Army, let's see. China was conducting a strike drill in response to provocations and collusion between Taiwan and the United States. 71 PLA aircraft and 71 planned vessels around Taiwan were detected in our surrounding region by 6 a.m. UTC today. The Taiwan Defense Ministry tweeted, ROC, armed forces have monitored the situation and tasked CAP aircraft, Navy vessels, and land-based missile systems to respond to these activities. So, I talked about this last week, how Biden decided to take home some very secretive documents that he wasn't supposed to take home to his home in Rhode Island. And we're going to talk about that again because I guess there's an update. So, incredible shrinking president. Democrats finally starting to bail on Biden over document scandal. Democrats have a big problem. President Joe Biden has been caught with classified documents all over, and the feds just keep finding more. Really? Wow. Okay, in the latest revelation, word leaked out that some of the documents stretch back to his days in the Senate. I still feel like that's pretty bad, though, because I don't really know the whole procedure of, like, returning documents that aren't yours after you're done with a certain term. But anyway, at first the Democrats poo-pooed the scandal. He did the right thing. House Democratic Caucus, I was about to say cactus. Well, Chairman, Representative Pete Aguilar of California said, but that's starting to change, especially after the Fed spent 9 hours scouring Biden's Delaware home. Oh, I thought he was in Rhode Island. My bad. Rhode Island, Delaware. Are they close together? I feel much better if that was right. And they keep on finding more documents. Senator Dick Durbin, he's a Democrat in Illinois, the second-ranking Democrat in the Senate, said over the weekend that Biden should be embarrassed by the situation. Durbin also said that the president no longer holds the moral high ground on an issue that ensnared former President Donald Trump as Attorney General. Merrick Garland has appointed special counsels to probe both cases. Well, of course, let's be honest about it. When that information is found, it diminishes the stature of any person who is in possession of it because it's not supposed to happen. The elected official bears ultimate responsibility. Senator Joe Manchin of West Virginia, he's a Democrat, who has been a thorn in Biden's side, said the president should have a lot of regrets. You just might as well say, listen, it's irresponsible. The move away from Biden came after he defended his actions after 68 days of silence and even before the latest batch of documents were discovered. We found a handful of documents that were filed in the wrong place. We immediately turned them over to the archives and the Justice Department. We're fully cooperating, looking forward to getting this resolved quickly, Biden said. Okay. I think you're gonna find there's nothing there. I have no regrets. I'm following what the lawyers have told me they want me to do. That's exactly what we're doing. There's no there. What the fuck? Somebody get this guy a damn Vicodin? Just get him to shut up. Even in his texts, I feel like I'm having a blip. I just... Stop! Just stop talking, Biden. It's like every time you open your mouth, you're digging a hole and you're just sitting in it thinking that everything's okay. You fucking ostrich. That's what ostriches do. They just bury their heads in the sand. Yep. He's an ostrich in a man's skin suit. Yep. I don't know. That's a conspiracy. But Democrats are still, equivocating. Okay, I said that right. Saying Trump's, situation is worse than Biden's. It's outrageous that either occurred, Durbin said. But the reaction by the former president and the current president could not be in sharper contrast. Manchin did much the same, saying on NBC's Meet the Press, "It's just hard to believe that in the United States of America we have a former president and a current president that are basically the same in the same situation. How does this happen?" I'm baffled as well. I know I defended Trump towards the whole thing, but I also don't know a lot of the protocols when it comes to someone leaving the presidency, leaving his term, and keeping documents. I do realize that's wrong, so maybe I was wrong defending Trump, but it's whatever. But liberal news sites are I picked a great day to read an article, guys. I picked a great day. Liberal news sites like the Associated Press have also sought to differentiate between the two presidents, with The Wire service writing on Monday that Biden voluntarily allowed the FBI into his home on Friday. Didn't they say that his home was raided? They often forget that Trump was not given that option, with the federal agents descending on Mar-a-Lago in the dead of night with a warrant. All right. With Republicans taking over the House in the midterm elections, investigations into Biden are definitely coming. And with the president expected to soon announce his intention to run again in 2024, please don't run in 2024. No. Biden, you need to sit down on a rocking chair. Somebody give this dude a Vicodin and just let him trip for 4 years. Just let him trip for 4 years on a Vicodin and just leave us alone. Oh my god. Durbin said others worry about Biden and that he will be severely weakened by the scandal. Yes, of course he will. We have to worry since its new group has taken over control of the House of Representatives, has promised us endless investigations, confrontations, impeachments, and chaos, and what is going to happen, Durbin said. So, one Republican thinks that the Biden scandal is an intentional scheme to weaken the president. I mean, there's an element of where it's Joe Biden's lawyer who turns this information over. It's Joe Biden's own Justice Department that's appointed to a special counsel to investigate him. Representative Matt Gaetz of Florida. There's an element to this that feels like the Democrats are taking out Joe Biden, Gaetz said. I don't know that that's the case, but I don't know that it's not. Listen, this also could be a conspiracy. Like, what if somebody planted documents in the house of Biden? But then again, I mean, he still had documents from, like, when he was in Senate. And that was years ago. He's been there for a very long time. So, I would say that he has, I don't know how long, but he has some years worth of documents at his house. So there's one thing that I could debunk with my own conspiracy here, but let's just talk about this real quick. Kamala Harris, yes, has not been in the news. She has not really been talking. She hasn't been showing up in the press conferences. She has not come to his defense. She has just disappeared off the map for a very long time. Okay, we don't hear a lot. At least I don't. I don't know if everybody else does, but she's gone. She's doing her own thing. She's staying out of this, as far as I know. She has not commented, and she has not talked about this. She is the vice president. So is there any way that this whole thing with Biden keeping his documents in there, is there any way that this could be a setup for him to be impeached and for her to be in office as president? I would rather have the bumbling moron as president than Kamala Harris, just because I know Kamala Harris is very smart, and I would rather have an idiot, okay, as president. I hate Kamala Harris with a passion, and I know what she wants in a government. Huh? I would rather have Kamala Harris being locked up, man. Lock her up. She's the mastermind. She's the puppeteer. Lock both of them up, man. Lock them both up. But I don't like the fact, okay? For one, in my opinion, I don't like women being a president. I just don't think it's gonna matter. I really don't think it's going to actually work for a woman to be a president. Call me sexist. I probably am, okay? I don't like most women, okay? I tell you guys this a lot, okay? Women are emotional creatures. However you want to fucking spin it. Women are emotional. They should not be in that much power unless they're cool, calm, and collected and they can't be offended over the smallest thing like a broken fucking nail, okay? I don't see Kamala Harris as cool, calm, and collected. She fucking just giggles like a hyena most of the time. When anybody asks her a question, she goes, what the fuck? It wasn't funny! Oh shit. I hit my guitar. I'm sorry, Johnny Cash. I hit Johnny Cash. I hit my guitar. It's okay, though. Listen, I know she's emotional, too. She gets pissed off when people shout her down and don't let her talk. Have you seen her? Have you seen her being shot down, like being shouted over in a rally before? She looks like she's about to kill everybody. And you know what? I wouldn't put it past her, to be honest, because I really think she's a murderer. I really don't like her. I'm not scared of the bitch, but I really hate her, and I really don't want her to be the president. No. Listen, I don't even trust Joel Osteen because he smiles so much, man. I don't trust a woman that smiles. Okay, I don't trust a woman, period, most of the time, okay? You have to be a really badass woman for me to actually be friends with you, okay? You gain my trust. I trust you with my life, ladies. I don't trust Kamala Harris, okay? Listen, I don't trust Joel Osteen because, of course, he fucking smiles a lot. How can a man be physically capable of smiling that much? How can a woman laugh and smile that much? I know you fucking evil. I know that you about to kill some people, and every time you talk, you have to giggle like you some sort of fucking weirdo you're thinking about killing babies. I know you are. You're about to kill somebody. She laughing like it's funny. I don't like her. I'm really sorry. I'm drifting off the topic. Anyway, there's an element to this that feels like the Democrats are taking out Joe Biden. Yeah, okay. Maybe the Democrats have realized that Joe Biden is not useful to them anymore, and they just assume to toss him out and get a younger crop of candidates engaged in the next presidential race. I'm not even gonna rant anymore about her. This is what's gonna happen, guys. But just as Joe Biden is hardening the cement around his decision to run for the president again, they start looking for what for what classified documents might have been tucked away 8 years ago. Yeah, so it's been 8 years. So, next up is non-binary son of top Democrat lawmaker arrested during far-left riot against police. Alright. I had to give Johnny Cash some attention because I hate him. Yes, I named my guitar Johnny Cash. He's all black. Okay? He's beautiful. Representative Catherine Clark, Democrat of Maryland, said in a statement Sunday evening that her son was arrested over the weekend during a far-left riot against police officers. Boston Police Department said that the incident happened at approximately 9:30 p.m. on Saturday, January 21st, 2021. Why are we just hearing about this, though? Why did it happen last year? Well, technically 2 years ago, Sarah Jane. We're just newly into, 2023. Give me a break. Officers were responding to a call over a protest at the Parkman Bandstand Monument. Upon arrival, officers observed the individual defacing the monument with spray paint. Well, that is a government-owned monument. Yeah, you didn't really think that was gonna... What did you think was gonna happen, stupid? Our tax dollars go to the beautification of this, country a lot, okay? Your tax dollars are going to be paying for that fucking statue. Taxes go to a lot of things, but it also does go to construction work and all that stuff. During the arrest of Jared Dowell, a group of 20 protesters began to surround officers while screaming profanities through megaphones. Alright, well, that would also be eluding an officer, right? So, the protest most likely did get out of hand just because of the arrests, so they're probably trying to evade arrest, which is a misdemeanor in some states. Don't know what it is in Maryland, but it is an offense. So, not only did you deface public property, vandalism, okay? There's 2 charges right there, alright? What else? Okay, in the public street, causing traffic to come to a standstill. Blocking traffic, I'm sure that's an offense somehow as well, because you're putting other people in danger, not just yourself. While interfering with the arrest of Jared Dowell, an officer... evading arrest again. Of Jared Dowell, an officer was hit in the face and could be seen bleeding from the nose and mouth. Yep, violence against an officer, you deserve to be arrested, sir. Ma'am. Person. Human? I don't even know. Police said that Jared Dowell was placed under arrest and charged with assaults by means of dangerous weapon, destruction or injury of personal property, and damage of property by graffiti and tagging. Clark released a statement saying that Jared Dowell, who she says is now her daughter, Riley Dowell, was the person arrested. Last night, my daughter was arrested in Boston, Massachusetts, Clark, who is the Democratic whip of the U.S. House Representatives, tweeted. I love Riley, and this is a very difficult time in the cycle of joy and pain and parenting. This will be evaluated by the legal system, and I am confident in that process. Okay. Okay. Interesting. Woke folk! Stop it! Okay? You can't just group up a bunch of police officers and call them all cops or bastards or whatever. You can't do that. Because it depends on the person that is wearing the badge. I know that's hard for you guys to actually fucking comprehend because Everybody has the same training. Everybody has the same things that they have to follow, the rules and procedures that they have to follow. So I understand that a little bit. But it also depends on the officer. Okay? If the officer decides to go ham and punching you upside the head in the face when he's been told to stop, when there's no reason for him to be that violent towards you, then yeah, he should be arrested and be put to jail. Because he's already assaulting. An officer is assaulting a citizen. Okay? There's a whole lot of things that could play into that as well. I just know that there's a difference between a very toxic officer and a really good cop. Okay? That's just me. Hello, my renegades. If you haven't heard about Anchor by Spotify, it's the easiest way to make a podcast with everything you need all in one place. Let me explain. Anchor has tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone and computer, and when hosting on Anchor, you can distribute your podcast on listening platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. And best of all, Anchor is totally free. Download your Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. It's a lot of fun, so come join us. Next up on this podcast is next up is random stuff that I find interesting. It's just, entertaining things, stuff that you might want to know, you might not want to know, things you might learn. So let's go to it. All right, let's go. Anyway, I hate Taco Bell. I used to work there. Yeah, I don't like it. I don't remember the last time I actually had anything from Taco Bell, and you know what? I'm fine with it because it's just bad. It's just bad stuff. There have been metal shavings in the taco meat in the ones like in Ohio, okay, in Toledo, and the cinnamon twists are deep fried pasta noodles. What's another one? Your meat is not cooked. It's pre-cooked, of course. It's just packaged food, but we get it from a truck, all right, packaged, vacuum packed, and we stick it in what it's called a thermalizer, where all your beans, your refried beans, everything goes into there. The nacho cheese, the chicken, they all come in bags and they get put in this thermalizer, which is very hot water, okay? And then we dig it out with tongs after a few minutes and it's completely, ready to be served. Yeah. Oh, and the toasted cheese chalupas. I used to deep fry those every morning. They're not toasted, they're deep fried. Everything's deep fried. It's fast food. What do you expect? The refried beans are freeze dried and you have to put boiling water in it and mix it in order for it to not solidify, but like make it look like it's refried beans. It's just disgusting. I just don't like it. I've seen the horrors of Taco Bell. It's nasty. But I would say I'm lucky compared, or blessed, I don't know, compared to this man who ended up getting a burrito full of rat poison. Centennial, Colorado. Authorities in Colorado have not found any evidence that employees at Taco Bell in Aurora put rat poison in the customer's food. And now deputies cannot get in contact with the customer who made the allegation. Listen, I want to give the customer the benefit of the doubt, because maybe it wasn't his fault, but now in this climate, in this day and age, I'm pretty sure that dude decided to put rat poison in his own burrito and try to sue somebody with it. The guy almost died. But anyway, apparently this Taco Bell has had the same problem with this same guy, so he would complain all the time at this Taco Bell. And this particular day, when he was poisoned, he ended up complaining about the soda machine not working properly. And so in order for the employees to smooth over the problem, they gave him a free burrito. And it's very easy, of course, for anybody to unwrap the tortilla of a burrito, of course. So anybody could have done it, to be honest. But on January 15th, deputies with the Arapahoe County Sheriff's Office were called to a nearby hospital where a man told the hospital staff he ate food that had rat poison in it. Okay, so did the doctors tell him that, or did he know that he ate it with rat poison in it? Because that would really be a smoking gun, like, okay, he did it to himself. But the man told deputies that he had ordered food from the restaurant at 1 p.m. but waited until around 7 p.m. to eat, and then he became very ill, at which point he called 911 and was taken to the hospital. Earlier that day, deputies were called to the same Taco Bell on reports of a disturbance. A customer allegedly got into an argument with an employee in the drive-thru because of the soda machine not working. Okay? Deputies confirmed the man who was hospitalized was the same one involved in the argument. Okay. Lab tests later confirmed that the rat poison was present in the taco. Oh, was it a taco? I thought it was a burrito. Anyway, the sheriff's office then began investigating the Aurora Taco Bell. During the investigation, which included video evidence from the Taco Bell, the sheriff's office found no evidence of employees that were responsible for placing rat poison in the customer's food. Investigations say they cannot account for how the poison got into the man's order. Listen, I'm sorry. There have been accounts of a lot of things going on in fast food joints, especially Taco Bell. There has been a man who worked as an employee who thought it would be funny to put cologne in the seasoned meat to give to an officer, and the officer almost died. Dumb ass. Then there's this whole Burger King thing with foot lettuce. Like, someone stood in, like, a tub of lettuce with his dirty ass feet, like with his dirty ass shoes. You know, and then, of course, we got some Toledo stupid stuff. Oh my god. We got a KFC shut down because two dumb women decided to bathe in the seasoning. Okay? That they use to season the chicken. Fun! Officers have been trying to get in contact with the customer who made these claims, but have not been able to reach him at his home or on his phone. Did he die? I really hope he didn't. Deputies are asking for the man to reach back out to the sheriff's office if he has any further information. I guess legal analyst George Brochler told Nextstar's KDVR that the civil case could follow the investigation if it turns out the customer wasn't being truthful. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, because, like, if it wasn't, like, found on surveillance and there's no trace of the rat poison, either Taco Bell's being really shady and really sneaky about this and has covered their tracks, or the guy poisoned himself as some sort of stupid vendetta against the restaurant. I think if you're Taco Bell and there's evidence that this guy made this up, you might turn your legal guns towards him and say, we're now going to sue for the damage you tried to do to our brand, Brochler said. Okay. In that scenario, the company would have to weigh whether the additional press would be worth the trouble of holding the customer accountable, Brochler said. Oh, okay, wow. I think for Taco Bell, it is a double-edged sword. Do you want this story to go away yesterday, or do you want to be vindicated? That's a business decision. The investigation is still ongoing. Okay, we haven't actually had a weird news story in a very long time, so I wanted to talk about this one just because I think it's kind of cute. So, results released in girl's request for DNA evidence of Santa. Cumberland, Rhode Island, Department of Health says it was not able to definitely confirm or refute the presence of Santa in a young girl's home after she requested to have partially eaten cookie and a couple of gnawed-on carrot sticks tested for DNA to see if Santa Claus is real. The department tweeted on Monday that we all agree that something magical may be at play. Oh my god, you guys are just playing along. This is so cute, though. The department said it found no complete matches to anyone in the combined DNA index system, but said there was a partial match to a 1947 case centered around the 34th Street in New York City, referring to the movie Miracle on 34th Street. Haha, very funny. It said it would need more DNA samples from other known Santa encounters to make a definitive match. The good news is that the lab did find the presence of DNA closely matching Rangifier tarandus, known as reindeer. When testing the carrots, the department said, okay. No, they're just playing along. That's so cute. I love that. The girl, a Cumberland resident, had sent the cookie and carrot sticks to the town's police department to ask if they can be tested for DNA. Chief Matthew Benson said on Friday. Benson forwarded the evidence to the state's Department of Health Forensic Sciences for unit analysis. Anyway, in recent days, several videos have been circulating on the internet that show different species of animals exhibiting strange behavior. In particular, groups of horses, ants, and orcas have been going around in perfect circles for several days without any apparent reason. This behavior has raised question and concerns among scientists, animal experts, and the general public alike. I have seen a lot of TikTok videos about this, but I really wanted to talk about it today. One possible explanation for this behavior is that the animals are exhibiting some form of animal mass hysteria. Mass hysteria, also known as mass psychogenic illness, is a phenomenon that occurs when a group of people or animals exhibit similar physical or emotional symptoms due to the shared belief or fear. It can be caused by a variety of factors, including social isolation, stress, and the presence of perceived threat. Okay. In the case of the animals exhibiting this circular behavior, it is possible that they are reacting to some kind of stressor in their environment. For example, horses may be reacting to changes in their surroundings, such as the presence of a predator or the introduction of a new group of animals. Ants may be reacting to a change in their habit or their habitat, or the presence of a food source. Orcas may be reacting to changes in their social structure or the presence of a perceived threat. So, there's thousands of animals acting this way right now. What is that telling us? Like, there's an impending threat and all they can do is walk around in a circle. Like, I kind of think of like crop circles, but those can be easily debunked as people playing pranks on each other. But like, if crop circles do exist, I don't know if they actually do. This could be like the modern crop circle right now. Another possible explanation for the behavior of the animals are experiencing some kind of physical or mental distress. This could be caused by a variety of factors, including illness, injury, or exposed to toxins. In some cases, animals may exhibit this behavior as a result of neurological disorder or the underlying medical condition. It is also possible that the animals are exhibiting the behavior as a form of social bonding or communication. For example, horses are known to engage in circular movements as a way of establishing dominance in their herd. Ants may be engaging this behavior as a way of communicating the location of a food source or other resource. Orcas may be using this behavior to form social bonding as a way of establishing their place within the group. But hasn't this been happening for days and days on end? Like, they don't stop? Despite the speculation surrounding the behavior, this is important to note that the exact cause of the animal's strange behavior is currently unknown. More research is needed to fully understand what is behind the phenomenon, and in the meantime, it is important to observe these animals carefully and to take steps to minimize any potential stressors or factors that may be contributing to their behavior. My opinion, animals sense a lot of things, and they just have a higher sense of things. They have far more superior senses than humans do, so maybe they are sensing an impending threat. Like I said, this could be the modern crop circle. Like, what's going to happen? And there's nothing for world news. Thank you so much for listening and putting up with my stuttering. I will see you in the trenches next time. See ya.